I feel like he's just pushing people out even more.
In 90 days, I'm leaving America for good.
Okay, so if you want to get the fuck out of America, here's exactly how you're gonna do it.
I think people, when you move and when you leave America and you're healthier, it's not because of the healthcare system. It's being away from the American system.
Americans, Black Americans, need to be getting our passports and thinking of an exit plan.
America is run down internally. I'm giving up my slave to the system card and I'm moving myself to Southeast Asia to enjoy my life right now, to not wait on a promise of retirement when I turn middle age 60s, so that my back could be out. Then I can try and enjoy a little excitement in my life.
Something doesn't feel the same anymore, and people are noticing. More Americans are asking one question: time to leave? Is it time to leave? Let's talk about why this conversation is getting louder by the day. Check this out.
It used to be the Americans that ended up in Europe were like New Yorkers and Californians, aka people that were wealthy, working for big companies, yada yada. Now there's people from Kentucky and Utah and Alabama, aka people that are more in the middle class areas, not working for big companies, moving abroad, which is a new phenomenon, which is interesting. And I think it is because of Trump, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he's just pushing people out even more. But again, this sentiment of being disillusioned with the country has been going on, yeah, for a really long time.
In 90 days, I'm leaving America for good and moving to Southeast Asia. Here's 3 reasons why. Reason number 1, affordability. I love America, but it has become so much more expensive over the last couple of years. If you factor in rent, groceries, and all of those other expenses, you're going to break the bank just to get by. My rent in America is $1,500 right now, and in a Southeast Asian country like the Philippines, the amount I pay in rent in the US would cover almost 90% of my monthly expenses. Reason number 2, culture. Everything is so polarizing in the US, from politics to relationships and everything in between. It just seems like everyone's being put against each other. When I'm in the Philippines, things are so chill and the culture feels so different. Reason number 3, peace and safety. I'll be honest, as a Black American, I've never felt unsafe while traveling abroad. However, there are a couple of times where I felt unsafe in America. In the Philippines is a complete 180. Now, I'm not saying you're never going to run across bad people, but most of the people that I've come across were just friendly locals. But would you move to the Philippines? If so, let me know in the comment section below. And before you go, did you know that...
Okay, so if you want to get the fuck out of America, here's exactly how you're gonna do it. And this is coming from someone who actually lives in Thailand. So I left America permanently last year, October, with little to no money. So I got fired from my waitressing job in June, and then I moved in October of last year. And from that time period, I was literally living off unemployment. So I was literally living off unemployment, stacking every single dollar I was making until I got here. Am I crazy? Yes. Did I still get here? Yes. I'm telling you, if there's a will, there's a fucking way. I even brought my cat by myself. I held my breath so long about this topic because I wanted to keep my platform very positive and uplifting. But ever since the little orange man decided to take away national parks, that's my last straw. So here's exactly how you're gonna move the fuck out of America. Number 1, visualization. Before you roll your eyes, I need you to understand how brainwashed Americans are into believing that America's the best country in the world and our government cares about us. I don't think anyone believes that at this point, but get that out of your head if you do. I need you to start visualizing a life that you actually enjoy living and believe that you can have it. Number 2, affirmations. Affirm to yourself that you can actually fucking do this. Despite how impossible it seems right now, and especially with the state of the world, you can still do it, I promise. I did it on unemployment with my cat alone. I'm 23. I just turned 23. I promise you can do it. Number 3, get rid of any self-limiting beliefs, obviously. Number 4, just start planning now, and before you know it, you will be in another country. And if you don't want to go to Thailand like I did, literally go anywhere else. Next month, I plan to move to Australia. Go anywhere you want. The world is huge. I decided to ultimately leave America because I believe that my desires are more important than anything else. I'm going to live a life that I desire, and I want it to be exactly how I want it to be. If you're someone who believes that we have only one life, don't fucking waste it. If you want a step-by-step tutorial on how to actually move to Thailand regarding your visa, if you're bringing pets, all of that stuff, leave a comment below and I can make a video about that too. Because I promise I will literally tell you anything I know for you to escape America. Yes, I said escape. Follow along if you want to join my journey and see if I move to Australia.
So I read an article where people were saying that like them leaving America, once they left America, they were healthier. And then the article highlighted like the healthcare systems in other countries, like how it's free and all this stuff. But honestly, I just feel like it's not the healthcare systems that make you healthier. It's the preventative care of life, like the greenery, the fresh air, the feeling of belonging, the rest, the non hustle, hustle, go, 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 the non existent stress of worrying about black shit, racist shit. And I'm only talking about Africa. Like, I would never move to a country where I'm the minority. Like, why would I move to Asia? Why would I move to Europe? I could just stay in America. But I think that I'm healthier here because of the preventative care. And preventative care is really peace, fresh air, love, rest, and life, and gratitude. And so, yeah, I think people, when you move and when you leave America and you're healthier, it's not because of the healthcare system, it's being away from the American system. Listen, I'm listening to prayers right now. Again, I'm not Muslim, but I freaking love Muslims. But I'm listening to prayers right now. So it's like, and birds. That's preventative care. Being able to be still is preventative care. And that's why I've dropped weight here. Yes, I've been working out, but I've also been eating better, less cortisol stress, getting me some, Kenyan loving. But yes, preventative care, which is the gratitude of life, is what makes people healthier once they leave the US, in my opinion.
I come to y'all because a lot of the times people don't know what's going on politically around me. Therefore, I can't have intellectual conversations with people and they give a damn. Or know who Peter Thiel is, or know who J.D. Vance is, or know of Gavin Newsom. They don't know what the fuck is going on, nor do they give a fuck. I just had like a low-key, high-key argument with my spouse without putting him on the spot. I just think it's ignorant to sit and think that none of this shit that's happening across states will not affect your black ass. Oh, it pisses me off when I hear black people say, I don't listen to politics. It's too much fear mongering. I don't keep up with this and that because, my kids need to eat today, or I have stuff and bills that I got to pay for today. I seen this video last night at 2:30 in the morning from Yaya. I'm going to tag her. I watch her content frequently. But when I saw that she gave confirmation to something that was in the pit of my fucking stomach, that black Americans need to be getting her passports and thinking of an exit plan, as folks around her that are in higher positions in law enforcement has advised her to, one, to stop speaking against this administration on these public platforms, or two, get you an exit plan, because although it don't feel bad right now, a lot of shit feels normal. That's what it's supposed to feel like. It's supposed to feel like it's normal that U.S. troops are being sent to Washington, New York, Chicago. We're supposed to feel that normalcy for a while, because when the escalation happens, y'all, we know, be no resistance. Thought in the beginning of this election that we all agreed that we would resist. Always knew that it was going to be us. Some of us are stuck dealing with this bullshit that people voted into office. No other option than to stay and either fight, cave, or resist, or die trying. You have some of us that just don't pay attention at all.
So it seems to be fashionable at the moment that some people want to leave the United States and go live in another country. Well, I'm in the United States right now. I'm in Ocean Beach, San Diego, but I live in Norway. I've been living in Norway for a number of years. And I first started thinking about leaving like 2016, like about 10 years ago. And leaving the United States to move to another country is not something that you can do overnight. I mean, unless you have another passport from a different country. But if you were like me, you just got American citizenship, only have an American passport, it's something that's going to take a lot of thought, a lot of trial and error, especially if you don't know somebody already over there that's done it. So, I would say always do your research, first of all, on what kind of place you would like to go to. Do you want it to be colder? Do you want it to be warmer? Do you want to live in Asia, Europe, South America, Australia? Where do you want to go? And you got to check out the type of visas that are available. There's retirement visas like here. Anthony says in Panama. I don't know much about Panama, to be honest. I've never been to Panama. I don't know what their retirement stuff is. If you've ever been, if you're Anthony, let us know exactly how to do it. But, apparently you can look at a retirement visa. But if you're trying to come to a place like where I live in Norway, you're going to have to get a skilled worker visa and you're going to have to work. You're going to have a skill, like be good at it, be better at it than anyone in Norway or Scandinavia or Europe if you're coming from America. And that's really going to be the only way that you're going to be allowed to do it. Asia has different, regulations, stuff like that. And I know that most countries have like that golden passport or something like that. That's like $250,000, something like that. If you got the money for that, then you would already know how to get there. So if you think about relocating from the United States to somewhere else, just do your research, ask ahead, try to go visit that place first and see everything. Because when I first went to Norway, I just went. I didn't know anything about visas. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I just went to Oslo, walked into a bar, was like, can I get a job? Can I get a job? And they were like, no, do you have a work visa? Like, no, you can't do that. So don't be like me. Be smarter than me. That's all I can say.
If you're not a Black woman, go ahead and swipe off of this video right now. This video is specifically for Black women who are interested in moving abroad. Hey y'all, my name is Sierra, and over 2 years ago, I packed all of my bags and booked a one-way ticket out of the United States, and I have been traveling and living abroad ever since. And honestly, as someone who has personally experienced homelessness and extreme housing insecurity while living in the US, I can honestly say that God ushering me to take a leap of faith and move out of the United States, and also God ushering me to take a leap of faith and begin my own online businesses has truly been incredibly healing and imperative to me building a life that's conducive to how I really, really want to live. Y'all, it is definitely possible for you as a Black woman to thrive outside of the United States and to just thrive as a whole and to get out of survival mode. Black women, it is possible for you to build your own online income. It is possible for you to move out of the United States. It is possible for you to start your content creation journey. It's possible for you to take a leap of faith in whatever business you so choose. Know that God got you and he will make a way for you. And if you are someone who needs help on how you can actually build your own online income, on how you can build your own businesses, on how you can move out of the United States and have a seamless leap abroad and a seamless intro to your digital nomad journey, I got you. My name is Sierra and I help Black women from all over the world across many different walks of life finally achieve their goals of starting their expat journey. It is possible for you. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. You can build your own online income. You can take a leap of faith and move abroad. You can actually begin to live your life in a way that will be more conducive to your healing. Moving out of the United States has healed me mentally, emotionally, physically, in a variety of ways. And so many other Black women who have moved abroad or who have been traveling abroad long term definitely feel the same. Black women, it's possible for you. You can do it. And if you need help, you can book a global relocation consultation with me at the link in my bio, or grab my Be Your Own Boss guide that will teach you how to make your own online income so you can jumpstart your digital nomad journey. I got you. God loves you. I love you. And you got this. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Follow for more helpful information on how to move abroad.
A lot of African Americans are moving to Latin American countries. They're a quick flight home. They offer easy access with an American passport. Our money can stretch further there, and we can find ourselves in a predominantly brown country where we can feel more comfortable. And I think it just needs to be said that African American people leaving the US are not leaving the US for pleasure or leisure. We are seeking refuge in other countries. There are hate crimes committed against African American people in this country every. Gentrification is not a racial phenomenon, it's an economic one. But I understand why people conflate the two, because economic power does move along racial lines, because racial minorities were previously excluded from being part of the economy. But in simple terms, gentrification describes the changes that take place within working class or low income communities when wealthier individuals move in. This attracts new businesses looking for affluent customers who can afford their extraordinary prices. Real estate market speculation begins. All of a sudden, potholes are getting fixed because they have the capital to actually pressure local officials to make infrastructural changes that improve the neighborhood. And landlords take advantage by raising prices. And affluent Black, Brown, and Indigenous people absolutely partake in this phenomenon all the time because they have the wealth to do so. Now let's apply this to the phenomenon that this creator is describing, which is the exodus of a lot of African Americans from the United States to countries in Latin America. As an immigrant myself, I can attest to the fact that the ability to get on a plane, manage the moving costs, and also manage the fees of what it takes to actually settle in a new country means that you have a level of class privilege that most people don't, even if you're not wealthy. Now, add on to that that you're moving from a country within the imperial core to countries that have been previously exploited by said imperial core nation that you're moving from. Which neighborhoods are you settling in? What's the quality of life that you're seeking? And do you not think that businesses and real estate developers are taking note of this mass cash flow that's now moving into their neighborhoods? Moving for refuge doesn't mean that the impact isn't going to be the same. Speaking of refuge, a lot of the systemic oppression that exists within the United States exists also in Latin America. Latin American countries are not just brown countries. They have long, complicated histories of racial and socioeconomic exploitation that mirrors the United States, actually. Just like in the United States, Black and Indigenous Latinas in Latin America also experience police brutality. And the white upper class in Mexico, Brazil, Chile functions just like the white upper class in the United States. And despite being Black, you get to have a piece of that upper class pie because of your class privilege. And y'all know that because you always talk about how much more you can get when you're earning American dollars and spending pesos. So you get to live in a gated community and protect yourself from the same ills in the country that you're leaving that actually impacts working class members of the country that you're going to.
I'm giving up my slave to the system card and I'm moving myself to Southeast Asia to enjoy my life right now, to not wait on a promise of retirement when I turn middle age 60s, so that my back could be out. Then I can try and enjoy a little excitement in my life. Fuck all that. I'm enjoying my life currently right now because I understand life is not promised tomorrow. So why wait for a retirement that's not even going to be valuable by the time I turn 65? I have been to Thailand. I've seen the lifestyle that I deserve. I lived, I've breathed freedom for a whole month. In that whole entire month, I only spent $1,800. After that month, I came back home and spent 2 grand just for rent, not including my whole life, not including food, not including gas, bills. I'm talking just rent. America is the biggest scam and corporation I've ever been a part of. And after 33 years of putting in my work, I'm putting in that retirement slip, man. I had enough. I surrendered. Y'all can have it. But like me, if you've been outside of this plantation, you understand that there's so many better walks of life out here. So many different ways to live. You know what I'm saying? So many avenues to make money, not just to answer to somebody who you're way smarter than. Life is not about just living to work. It's time to start living a purpose, man. That's my whole point. I'm not just moving to Thailand just to flex on nobody. This is a freedom move. This is a chess move for freedom. You understand? Nobody's finna be free out here on this plantation trying to pay these leasing agencies and these goddamn car dealerships, bro. It's time for a change, man. Stay chosen. Right now, I'm somewhere in South Korea at an airport, 6 hours away from my home, Thailand, guys. And I just want to say, man, it feels amazing to be back in Asia. This trip thus far has been so positive. I sat by this lady who was from Newport Beach, California, and she had so much good vibes. And I was sitting next to her for 13 hours and not a dull moment. And it wasn't forced conversation, it was good energy. I was giving her good energy, she was giving me good energy. We laughed, we joked, but we understood that we were leaving a systematic depression. America is run down internally, man. And a lot of people have so much pride of this American dream. But in reality, the American dream is to get out of America and actually be free, actually see your money multiply, actually eat pure food. You know what I mean? Actually encounter with people who are living in a karma culture, people who give the energy that they want to receive back. So it's always good vibes. And I related to this woman. She was 53 years old. I'm 33. She's a white woman. I'm a black man. No matter the race, no matter the age, we're coming from the same systematic depression. And we're not the type of people who are running away from our problems. She was actually a successful teacher for multiple years. And I have some sense of success in America. I'm not leaving America fleeing from something. But me and that woman shared the conscious mind of knowing that it's better out here for us. We have been in different lands of opportunity and felt the energy. And honestly, I feel like if you know better, you do better. If you honestly knew how much better life would be outside of your hometown, outside of your home country, you would not be there right now. And if you were there, you'd be focusing on a way to build an exit strategy to get up out of there. Because, like I said, it's a systematic depression. So even if you're on top right now, it only takes 2 car loans. It only takes moving in that wrong apartment and losing your job in between that lease to really see the systematic depression hit. You know what I'm saying? Because that job only is gonna last as long as that boss like you. And if the boss don't like you, you're not getting no more hours. You're not being able to provide for yourself. You're not being able to pay those car notes and that rent, you know, all of these fees that the government got you paying. So guys, I'm just saying, step outside of your hometown and see something better. Stay chosen.
We're in the middle of people questioning the American dream and if it can actually be a reality for them.
We were told to go to school, work hard, get the job, buy the home, save for retirement, keep hustling until all your dreams came true.
But what happens when you do all of that and you're still exhausted? You're still overwhelmed, living paycheck to paycheck, and still wondering, when is my life actually supposed to start?
And that's where we found ourselves today. We've spent years believing that if you work harder, push harder, and waited a little longer, you'd eventually arrive. But no matter how hard we've tried or worked, it seemed like we could never win. We never get caught up, let alone move ahead.
The bigger picture actually became, what if success isn't what we were taught it is? What if freedom looks completely different? And what if the dream itself is what needed to be questioned?
So just like we've questioned and deconstructed and unlearned our faith, we've decided to leave the United States and move abroad in order to unlearn the American dream.
As we begin to make our transition abroad, we're going to be documenting everything: the planning, the finances, the fears, the mistakes, and everything that we learn along the way. And this series is going to be called Unlearn the American Dream. And as we unlearn what life has brought us in the US, we want to seek out happiness abroad.
We're still trying to figure it out. And if you're trying to do the same or you're interested in building a life abroad, follow along and join the conversation in the comments as we figure it out together.
So I've been seeing everybody talking about wanting to leave America and like the US just being the ghetto, which has been the ghetto. And luckily for me, God gave me a revelation and woke me up out of my sleep and told me to leave America a couple months ago. And so I've been living out of the country for a couple months. I knew that the economy was only going to get worse, that things were only going to get worse. And I just like really had to be real with myself. Like, do I want to keep struggling my entire life? Do I want to live a life where I have known nothing but struggle? Or do I want to go somewhere else and kind of take some of that pressure off and start to enjoy life? And my life has completely changed. Like, the quality of life has changed, the quality of food has changed, the way I feel every day has changed, my skin has changed, my weight has changed. Like, everything about me, my outlook on life has changed. My dreams and goals are not changing, but they're evolving in a better way because I'm closer to my dreams. If you have the urge to leave America, do it. It's definitely easier said than done, but plan for it, do research. I literally got into a mode where I just kind of went silent. I stopped posting, I stopped doing everything, and I just dug into research about leaving the country, and I left, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to go to another country soon, and I'm just really happy. Like, I've had to put some of my dreams on hold, like, and one of my dreams is acting, but you could be an actor at any age. I don't think that God will not allow me to live that dream at some point in my life, but for now I just am prioritizing my health and my mental health, because people get into that career and they make bad decisions because of their quality of life, because of their thirst to get over to that other side. Because I'm not thirsty to live a life of prosperity, because I am living that kind of healthy and mentally healthy life here. I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate for material things or status or this or that, or to be seen by my peers as somebody who's doing well in their eyes. The only eyes that I care about is God's eyes and how I feel in my heart and how I feel mentally. So to prioritize the way I felt, because I was ordering Uber Eats, like y'all talking about how much Uber Eats costs, how much it costs just for them to take your food. Like, it was to the point where it was pushing me over the line. Every time I was ordering Uber and my food wasn't showing up, I was ready to cry. When I would get food, it would be nasty. I would be ready to cry. When I would get food at a restaurant, it would be nasty. I was ready to cry. When I would go to the store, fruits wouldn't be available. Vegetables, I was eating zucchini a lot. Zucchini was never in the store. It was never available. Apple started to be real shiny and feel real, like, to the point where it was like, I know it's wax around. It's like, I just mentally couldn't take it no more. The food, the quality of life. I was going out with my friends, and I'm just like, all y'all doing is getting drunk and doing drugs, and I'm sitting here drunk with y'all ass. One time I was walking in the club with no shoes on, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We finna be old. Like, and honestly, I should have took that walking in the club with no shoes on to my grave, but anyway, I didn't. So it's like, we doing things, we drunk, we doing all of this to like numb really life. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good turn up. I'm not actually drinking because I'm depressed, but it's like, we drinking because we don't have nothing better to do. And like, the life that I want to live, I don't want to live a life where going to the club and turning up is a highlight of my week. Like, I want to live a life where going on trips, going to galas, going to fundraisers, doing this and doing that. Like, I feel like we don't have no purpose to our lives no more, than we just living a life because it's so hard to live, because we got to worry about paying the rent and paying the bills and paying this. And then you got to be ashamed if you get a repo, if you get an eviction, if you get this, when it's so hard to live life. But now that everybody feeling it, people finna start understanding, where it's coming from. But I don't know. I just feel like America is a ghetto. And if you want to leave America, do not feel ashamed. Do not feel like you lost the battle. You winning the battle. America is ghetto, and they tricking y'all out y'all fucking spot. For real, for real. And I'm coming back one day, and I still feel that way.
I've been hearing that the new American dream is to leave America, sell all your stuff, and move to Thailand or live abroad in Europe. Well, that's what I did, and I want to tell you exactly how I did it. So, a couple years ago, I was working remotely for a United States company. It was based in New York City. I was working 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., just like everyone else, stuck in the rat race. I was so fed up with the high cost of rent and food, and what little money I had left over, I just wanted to spend on a plane ticket and just start traveling. Well, winter was coming, and I felt so stuck. I decided I'm going to take my work laptop, install a VPN on it so they think I'm in New York City still. I'm not going to tell them, and I'm just going to go somewhere where it's sunny and cheap and warm. And I went to Thailand. Well, I did this for a while, and remember, I was working 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. East Coast time. So in Thailand, I was working 12-hour difference. I was working 9 p.m. till 6 a.m., sometimes 7 a.m. all night, and it was exhausting. And all of a sudden, this dream life of being a digital nomad and working while I was traveling really was not the reality that I was expecting it to be. Well, what ended up happening was there was a great change in my life right before the holidays. I get a message from my boss. My boss says, "Hey, can you hop on a quick Zoom call before you leave for the day?" Remember, they thought it was 6 p.m. I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So we hop on a Zoom call. They see me and they go, "Brandon, you're so tan." And I lied, and I remember saying that I was going to the tanning beds at Planet Fitness, but I wasn't. Well, during the conversation, the can of worms opened up. My boss said, "It's a little awkward, Brandon, but the IT team said that they located your laptop, your work laptop, just south of Bangkok." And I said, "Well, this is awkward because I am south of Bangkok." Well, they realized I was working all night, and they said, "Well, this is a bit of a problem because you've got a contract that says you have to work in the United States." I did not understand that because I was never late, and they ended up giving me a ultimatum. They said, "Well, listen, you can either travel over the holidays and get back to the United States and work, or you're fired." And I remember looking at that screen, and it took me less than 2 seconds to come back with, "Well, then I quit." It was a scary decision quitting. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a backup option, but it was the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me because I was positioned in a cheap country. My cost of living was dirt cheap, $300 a month for rent. I was living in luxury, pools, gym, right at the beach. And I had the knowledge, which was the most important part of this story, that people existed today that really were making money over the internet. Great money, passively. I'd always heard that, earn passive income, earn passive income. I knew people did it. And I had time now. So I ended up going down the rabbit hole, and I ended up identifying how internet people make money passively. The answer was they were all selling digital products, 100% profit. And then you set up the machine so that it's automatically delivered. You set up the machine so that you create a faceless brand that gets that customer interested, gets them to the link in the bio, gets them to the sales funnel, gets them the product, passive income. And I started working on building this business. And then my friends in the United States stopped asking how I was and started asking where I was. Because I started earning a passive income from anywhere in the world, and I started traveling full time. Right now, I am in Portugal. It's beautiful here. I split my year into quarters. I'll be spending the winter back in Thailand. And I just want to tell you that it's possible. If you are curious yourself about exactly how to do this, check out the link in my bio because I've created a digital product and it's called the Nomadic Wallet. It breaks down my entire business model. It even includes a community. So you have one-on-one support from me, other people that are actively building this lifestyle. You have a 7-day digital product launch kit. So you can build this entire business step by step and launch it within 7 days. You've got a digital travel planner. So if you do want to become a digital nomad, you can stay organized on the road. But more importantly, you have my help. I normally sell my book in the TikTok shop, but I'm completely sold out. So check out my profile. And I hope to see you out here on the road. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.
You don't have to agree with me. You just have to think about it. Everybody's trying to build a better life. And there's nothing wrong with asking hard questions. If this conversation got you thinking, hit subscribe because we're just getting started. Happy every day.